Hey, it's Dr. McLean with Vital Energy Chiropractic. Hey, one of the biggest things that I see, not only in practice, just my personal research, but also what the literature supports, is that one of the biggest causes, or at least contributing factors to disease, as well as pain and suffering and sickness, is emotional stress. And a lot of this, not surprisingly, is self-induced. And so I want to give you a couple of tips that you can use not only in the moment when you're feeling stressed, but also proactively you can train your brain to respond better to stress. And this could be at work, it could be in relationships, it could actually be for performance as well. So if you're on the golf course or playing a tennis game or some type of a strategy. So you can use this proactively as well as not just to respond to fear. So this is amazing. One of the things that we do is when we feel stressed, we have an emotional stress response. Now that's good in the moment if we actually have a true stressor, like being chased by a bear or being threatened, for example. So our focus is going to narrow on that object, that thing that we think is a threat. Now the way that we create this in our mind is we think about money, for example. We're having a tough financial situation. We feel like we're going to run out of money. We're going to end up on the streets and we're going to be homeless, which is very unlikely to happen, but that's where our brain goes. Or maybe it's a challenge with a coworker at work and you just can't stop thinking about this person, how they make you so mad and they're frustrating. So our focus narrows on that situation, again, which is good in a true stressor, but we're trying to function in today's environment in life and do well and have abundance. That doesn't work so well. Because when our focus narrows, we can't think objectively and we don't make as good of decisions, right? Or if you're standing up on the tee box, you're getting ready to hit that shot, and you just can't stop thinking about the water on the right, we're more likely to swing poorly and hit that ball into the water. So both those situations. So our eye, the way that our eye focuses, just like if you use binoculars and you change the focus on those to see things far away or see things closer or be able to focus, our eye literally changes shape when we look at things far away versus things close. It changes the focal point on our retina. So what that means is when we narrow our focus, it's going to change the shape of our eyeball. So something really simple that you can do is you can, and this is the one way to train, is to pick a spot on the wall or in a picture or something like that and stare intently at it. And then you want to focus on your peripheral vision. So you're focusing on this one spot ahead of you, but you're making your mind think about the things that are, how far can you see off to your right? How far can you see off to your left? And you're not moving your eyeball, but you're noticing these things off to your peripheral vision. Then you look above you, and then you look below you, again, with your peripheral vision. Just using your mind to focus on those things. And it will change the shape of our eye, which will send a signal to our brain and to our amygdala to bring that fear response down, that stress response down, and we can start to think more logically, and we can start to make better decisions, okay? So you can train this by doing this in a non-stressful situation so that you can then bring that into that stressful situation. Because when you're in a stressful situation, you usually can't go stop and stare at the wall and then open your focus. But when you've trained your brain to this, you start to realize, oh, okay, I'm getting narrowly focused on the problem. Let me just take a step back here mentally and open up my vision and see what are my options here. Instead of just trying to fight this thing ahead of me, what are these options here? Can I go around it? Can I go above it? How can I use my brain to make a better decision? Again, same thing in sports. If you're getting up there in the tee box and you start to focus on that water over there, you can take a second and refocus and then focus back on where you want the ball to go. Now, one thing you can do in combination with this is, or separately, is just deep breathing. Now, any type of deep breathing helps deactivate the amygdala. One of my favorite ones is taking a big breath into your nose as long as you can, a nice slow breath. And then you're going to blow out for at least a count of 6, like you're blowing through a straw, okay? So that's, again, going to deactivate that amygdala, or at least slow the response from it so you can think more logically in that moment. And again, you can do this on a regular basis to help train yourself to get in tune so we can use your brain to a more advantageous position. Again, if we can lower that stress response, that's going to be good for our spine and nervous system. If we don't have these stress hormones going, we're going to be healthier. We're going to burn fat better. We're going to sleep better. We're going to digest food better. Our immune system's going to work better. Everything's going to function better. We're in a more relaxed state. And that's where we want to spend the majority of our time. If you have questions on this, please let me know.